Hello, boys and girls. It's Miss Kim from Miss Kim's Children's Music. Today we're going to learn all about outer space. We're going to learn about our solar system, the galaxy, the Milky Way, the sun, the moon, and the planets that orbit around the sun. Take a look at all those planets. I'm very excited. Stick around. What is outer space? Well, if you think of our Earth and how it's round, if you go straight up in any direction, about 62 miles, you will be in outer space. What is a star? Well, the most famous example of a star is our sun. Basically, it's a huge, glowing ball of gas. A simple example of a gas is air. We breathe air. It's fascinating. What is a moon? It's a large round object that circles a planet and shines by reflecting light from the sun, or a star. The sun is also a star. So the sun and the moon together are very important. We wouldn't be able to see that moon without the sun. Just want you to know, we have our own moon here on Earth, but other planets that we're going to learn about have more than one moon. But first, let's learn about what is a solar system. Well, first off, solar means sun. So a solar system is bound to one sun, one big star. And around that sun, the planets orbit in an ellipse-like shape around the sun. There are also moons inside of a solar system. You can find asteroids, comets, and meteoroids, and dozens of other dwarf planets. Pluto is one of those dwarf planets. That is what a solar system is, boys and girls. Isn't that fascinating? What is the job of our sun? Our sun in our solar system, the sun holds the solar system together. It provides life-giving light to us all. We need light to survive. It provides heat and energy to Earth. And it generates space weather. Fascinating. Boys and girls, what is a planet, you ask? Well, Earth is a planet. That's the one we live on. Also, planets circle usually a star or orbit. That's another way to say circles, meaning going around. It orbits a star. Our star is the sun. We call it the sun. But basically, it's also a star. And also, all planets have a moon. And as we're going to talk about real soon, when I tell you what are the planets in our solar system, some of our planets have more than one moon. Miss Kim likes to remember things by singing. So I made up a very short song about the 8 planets so that you can memorize the 8 planets. We're going to start with the planet that is closest to our sun and work our way all the way to the planet that's furthest from our sun. Here we go. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. All right, let's see if you can get it with me. Are you ready? Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Now let's talk a little bit about each planet and how they're special and unique. Mercury is the smallest planet in our solar system. It's also the closest to the sun, our star. 1 year on Mercury is 88 days long. That's a very short year, considering on Earth we have 365 days in a year. That's pretty interesting. It would be one fast year on Mercury. And Mercury is also the most cratered planet in our solar system. A crater means a divot. You see kind of like a divot or a hole. But craters are really big holes on a planet. Venus is a very fascinating planet. It's the second planet from the sun. One day on Venus is more than a year. Can you believe it? That means, compared to like our Earth time, on Venus, you would have to wait a whole year for a bad day to go by. If you were having a really rotten day, you're waiting a whole year like Earth. That would be terrible. It's also the second brightest object in the night sky after our beloved moon. Our beloved Earth is the third planet from the sun. What's so unique about Earth? Well, there are humans and living things on Earth. That makes us really special. And also, it takes us 365 days to orbit the sun or go around the sun. We call that a year. Mars is called the red planet. Well, mainly because it's red. It's also the second smallest planet in our solar system next to Mercury. So we have little Mercury and then Mars next in size. Now Jupiter is our largest planet. Also, Jupiter, a day is about 10 hours. Now we know on Earth one full day is 24 hours. So Jupiter has a quick day. That's pretty fascinating. The other cool thing about Jupiter is it has rings around it. We always thought Saturn was the only planet to have rings, but now we know that there are 4 planets that have rings, and Jupiter is one of them. It's also the fastest moving planet. Pretty cool. So it's the biggest and the fastest. That makes it a special planet, don't you think? Saturn is not the only planet, as we said, with rings around it, even though it was the first to be discovered to have these rings around it. Take a look at this picture. And as I said earlier about moons, that each planet has a moon or 2 or 3. Earth has 1. Well, Saturn has 82 moons orbiting it, which means it's going around it. That's a lot of moons. If that were us, we wouldn't know which moon to stare at. We'd be so fascinated. We'd be like, there's a moon, there's a moon, there's another moon, where's the other one? Uranus, which also has rings, is known as the sideways planet because it rotates around the sun on its side. Our last planet in our solar system that is the furthest from the sun, and it's also the coldest, is Neptune. It's also a ringed planet. This is some fascinating stuff. There is so much more to learn about each individual planet. So make sure you go to your local library to learn more about each planet. Fun facts about outer space. Did you know the sun is not the only star in our galaxy? There are billions of stars. I bet you see them twinkling like my lights at night. Not just the sun, but many, many billions of stars are out in our sky and in our galaxy. What is a galaxy, you ask? Well, our galaxy that contains our solar system is called the Milky Way. The Milky Way is a galaxy, and it contains our solar system and all of those things we just talked about. It is about 13 billion years old, and it's in the shape of a spiral. You know, it's really, really big. I mean, big, big, big. But should they have captured pictures of this? Look how beautiful the Milky Way is, where we live, in our solar system, on Earth. Check it out. The number of stars in our Milky Way is about 100 to 400 billion, and we aren't the only galaxy out there. planets that are closer to the sun take less time to orbit around it. Which makes sense if you think about it, right? Here's our sun, and we're going to orbit around it. And the further away the planet is, the longer it takes to go around the sun. It makes a lot of sense. It's almost like if you're on the outer part of a track when you're running and someone's on the inner part of the track. I think the one on the inner part will have an easier time getting around that track faster, don't you think? Some of the wonderful objects in our night sky and in our atmosphere and in our solar system have been photoed over the years. One of the coolest things that we've discovered here on Earth is called the Hubble telescope, which was launched into outer space in 1990 in order to see further and have a clearer view of the galaxies in our universe. What is a universe? It's a bunch of galaxies in it. So we have our Milky Way, then we have other galaxies. Our Milky Way is enough just for us to cover today. If you want to learn more about universe and the many galaxies besides our Milky Way galaxy, definitely go on to your library to learn more. However, it's pretty fascinating that this Hubble telescope has taken some beautiful photos of not only our planets, but galaxies and the most beautiful imagery. Take a look at some of the images that Hubble telescope has taken. Another fun fact, what makes our stars twinkle? Stars twinkle because we are viewing them through layers of dust and air. There is no air in outer space. So that when the Hubble telescope takes photos, they're so beautiful and clear because nothing gets in the way. No air or dust gets in the way to take those beautiful pictures. Fun fact! Did you know the sun is so big, it can fit more than 1 million Earths inside of it? Wow! That's big! Another very, very interesting fun fact about our solar system and outer space. Our sun in the Milky Way galaxy takes up 99.8% of our solar system. Think about that. Our solar system is huge, but that also means our sun is taking up most of the space in our solar system, and everything else is just little dots. Beep, 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 beep. Fascinating. Miss Kim would like to thank you so much for joining me in my vlog all about outer space and learning about the sun, the moon, the planets, the Milky Way, galaxies, and the Hubble telescope. The only thing I ask of you before you leave is not only to learn more and to enjoy and love learning, but don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Bye. You're out of this world.